Welcome back to Open Source Options. It's been a while since I've recorded a video with summer and job changes and everything, but here we go. I'm going to show you how you can take a set of lines in QGIS. So I have various lines here. There's a number of them, about 10 lines that I have, and I want to take the average of those lines. And this is not the most straightforward process, but we can do it and it's not too hard to do. So the average of these lines that I've calculated looks like this blue line here, and I'm going to show you how we can do that. Okay, let me give you a little more context here. The lines I have represent the center line of an active channel, so not the water, but the active channel where the channel does work of a river from 2009 to 2025 based on aerial imagery surveys. Okay, so we zoom in, we can see here how those lines change through time. And I want to get the average of those to just get an idea of where the center line of this active channel has been through that time. So let's go ahead and get started. I have all these lines here. I'm going to remove this so that it doesn't get in our way. And these are the lines I want to take the average of right here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to merge all those lines into a single shapefile. So I'm going to come to my processing toolbox here, and you can access the processing toolbox. You might have the panel open already. You can right click up here on an empty spot, and you can go to panels and find the processing toolbox. You can click on it here. You can go to processing toolbox. I'm just going to search here for merge. And you can see we have a few different tool options. And what we want is in general, vector general, merge vector layers. So I'm going to click on this one. It's going to pull up this here, and we're going to select our inputs. I'm going to select all of these and select OK. By the way, I'm using QGIS version 4 here. I'm going to select the destination CRS. I'm going to use this line to do some linear measurements. So I want this to be in a linear coordinate reference system. I want this to be UTM zone 10. I don't see it here. So I'll open this up. Predefined CRS. I don't see it in my list of recents, so I'm going to search for UTM 10 or UTM zone 10 north. And let's see what our options are down here. We have net 83. Let's see if we have WGS 84. Right here, so I'm going to choose WGS 84 UTM zone 10 north. Double click on that one. And then let's go back. Got that selected there. And now we're going to create a temporary layer. So let's go ahead and click run. Okay, we have merged. So let's click close, and we can see we have one line here now, and that is great. That's what we need. The next thing we need to get to is we want to get to a polygon. We want to get to a polygon that we can find the center line of. To do that, we're going to use the concave hole algorithm, which will create a polygon from points. So we need to convert this line to points. In order to make this work, we need to densify the vertices on this line so that our concave hole algorithm will work. So let's go ahead and take a look at densify. So we can densify by count, by interval. Let's go ahead and do by interval. We'll do the input layer merged. And this is the other part where using a linear coordinate system is useful, is we can set an interval for our vertices to occur. So I can do this at 20 meters, I can do it at 10 meters. Let's do it at 10 meters. If you didn't do this in a linear reference system, then you can come back and I'll show you can densify by count. And here we're going to select the number of vertices to add for each feature, and 1 is not enough. You're going to want to create this, probably at least 100, maybe 1,000, depending on your specific lines. So you have to play around with this. As I go through and show you this with the interval, you'll see how it works, and you'll get an idea of how many points you need to add. So densify by interval. I'm going to add vertices every 10 meters. I'm going to create a temporary layer called densified. I'm going to click run, and then I'll click close. Okay, and now you notice that nothing really has changed. I just have this densified layer now, but now I want to get vertices. Okay, so from here, what we want to do is get these lines turned into points by using extract vertices. So I've searched for vertices here in the toolbox, and now I can come down to extract vertices. I'm going to select my densified line, and we'll create again a temporary layer. Let's go ahead and click run. Okay, now we can close this, and you can see the vertices we have here. Let me just turn all of these off. Okay, and you can see we have these vertices occurring here. All right, the next step is to run a concave hole. So we're going to search for concave hole. We want to do this by layer. So we can click on the concave hole here. We want to use vertices. We do not want to allow holes. Okay, now this is where we have to do some testing. This threshold determines the angle, the maximum angle we'll go to look for another point. So let me explain what we're doing with the concave hole. Let me slide this out of the way. With the concave hole, we're coming into a point, and we're basically taking this point and drawing a line to the next point, okay? And we're doing this all the way around to make a polygon. And so the threshold we set will determine how far it searches. We could find this point here, or we could find this point just inside of it, depending on that threshold. And we'll try a couple of different ones so you can see how this works. Let's leave the default to start, and let's click run. I'm going to slide this out of the way, and we'll take a look at this. Let me slide this underneath the vertices so you can see where they are. So you see here how we've created a polygon that's actually much larger than our lines. Our threshold is too large. We need to decrease that threshold to more closely follow, more closely contain those lines. So let's leave that one up. Let's come back here, and we'll go back to our parameters, and we'll adjust this a fair amount. Let's say to 0.1, and let's click run and see how that works. Slide that out of the way. Now you can see that we've done a better job constraining that, but we still are picking up a lot of areas that we don't want to. So we're going to go back to and try this again. Let's decrease this to 0.05, and let's try that again and take a look at this one. Okay, now it looks like we're about where we want to be. There's a little bit, we're including some things we don't want to here, and also down here, we're kind of not following the point cloud. So we want to decrease that a little more, still maybe to 0.01, but we've improved quite a bit. So let's just try this one more time, and let's change this to 0.01, and let's click run. Now let's go take a look. Okay, and now you can see that maybe we are being a little too exact. We're catching every little variation in the point. So we maybe want to increase that just a little more so we have a smoother polygon along those edges. We're getting these edges done well, but this really should connect there. So we want to make another adjustment here. Let's go to parameters. Let's make this 0.25. Or let's just make it 3, 0.03. Let's click run, and let's take a look at this one. Pull that down here. Oh, below there, and this one below that one. Okay, and now as we look at this, we can see that is really close. We could use a little more detail there, but we might not be able to get it. And so this is a really good representation that contains all of those lines, but not much extra area. Okay, so now we have this polygon complete. We're going to save that one. We're going to remove these other layers. Okay, I'm going to pull this back over. I'm going to close out of the concave hole tool. Now we need to get the center line of this polygon. We've got a polygon that contains the vertices of all the points and follows them closely, but now we need to find the center line of that to get an average. To do that, we're going to use the QGIS plugin. Let's go ahead and install that. Plugins, manage and install. I'm going to search here for Beca, B-E-C-A-G-I-S, and let's install that plugin. This should happen pretty quickly. Perfect, it's all installed. Now we can close out here. Let's get rid of this. Again, in the processing toolbox, we can go to the Beca GIS tools. We can go to our vector tools, and we want to use this skeleton tool here. So let's open the skeleton tool. We want to input our concave hole layer. We can keep this density here. We can use post-processing to get center lines from skeletons, and we can create an output layer. Okay, we may have to adjust this density, but let's take a look and see what this gets us. So let's go ahead and click run. Slide this out of the way in case we need to rerun. Let's turn off our vertices so we can see what this line looks like. Okay, so you can see we have this center line, and it does all right, except it cuts off really early right here. It doesn't make that turn well. So let's see if we can adjust our parameters to get that to work. Let's pull our skeleton tool back over, go back to our parameters. Let's up the density. Let's just try this at 10 meters and see what happens. Let's click run. Slide that out of the way. Turn that one off. And that gave us an even worse line. So let's try this again. And let's try this at 0.5 meters and see if that improves. Let's click run. Slide that out of the way. We know this was not good, so I'm going to remove this layer to clean things up. Okay. There we go. That's looking quite nice. And so now you can see that we have this center line. Now let's turn our concave hole off. Let's adjust the symbology for this so we can see it more clearly based on our other lines. So we'll go to color. Oh, I've had a little bug with this where sometimes the color, you can't move the color wheel. But if I go off of it, come back to it, open this up again, open it up again, now I can. I don't know why that bug exists, but it does. Let's get a nice river looking color, simple line. Let's make this stroke quite a bit thicker. And now let's take a look at our vertices. Let's look at our concave hole. Okay, we can see there's one little issue here, and that comes out the corner. This line segment should come straight out the end of this polygon. Let's look at this other end and see if we have the same issue. That goes straight out of the polygon. That looks good. Let's just come in and make this one edit. And we can do this by turning on editing for this layer. Now I have my editing tool turned on, and I want to, the vertex tool, I want to use vertices on the current layer. And now you can see if I click on this vertex, I can move its location and I can drop it there. I also need to adjust these so they fall in line. And there you can see that now I've updated that. And I'll save my edits, stop editing. You can see that I've been able to update that so it comes out at the location it should. All right, so let's turn this off and let's turn the concave hole off and let's see how this compares to the center lines that I initially wanted to get the average of. And you can see that this approximates those center lines relatively well. It kind of finds the middle of those center lines. You can also do this by density. If you want to find where the densest center lines are, you can do a raster-based approach. To do that, here we just did kind of a spatial geoprocessing geometric approach to find the geometric center of those lines. That's how you can do this with QGIS. Hope you have found this useful, and stay tuned for our next video and next tutorial.